Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Italy.
It was a long one last night for the Angels opening up this 4-game series. It's been a long road trip. They've lost 7 consecutive games. They're trying to snap that losing streak tonight with Game 2 against the Cleveland Indians. We welcome you inside Progressive Field and back to Angels baseball on Fox Sports West along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas. Now tonight we're going to be treated to a very good pitching matchup, young pitching matchup. Carlos Carrasco on the mound for the Indians and Tyler Skaggs going for the Angels.
Two very good pitches. Like you're right on that one, Victor. A lefty and a righty, and it's our Honda helpful moment with Tyler Skaggs on the mound for the Angels tonight. He has thrown the ball very well in his 3 starts. Last time out, not quite as crisp with his breaking ball, but his first 2 starts, he got on top of that curveball so well in Kansas City and then against the Boston Red Sox. Didn't have quite that feel last time out, but still very competitive against Seattle. Carlos Carrasco has a very good power fastball, but his changeup is a plus changeup. He also throws a very good slider, very good swing and miss type pitcher, though he has struggled in his last 3 starts. ERA 7.56 for Carrasco. Mentioned that what Tyler did his last time out, 4 earned runs, but he's been very good really with his feel for his fastball, especially downward action on the fastball. Curveball's been solid, changeup. Got to get ahead of the count against these Cleveland hitters.
And the one thing you want from Tyler Skaggs, too, is some length, considering all the relievers that were used. Total of 6 pitchers used last night for the Angels as they try to snap that 7-game losing streak. We're going to step away for a moment. When we return, we're going to focus in on the top part of the Angels lineup. Four-game series. Mentioned the top of the order going to break, and of course it all starts with Yunel Escobar, who has been spectacular as a leadoff man on the offensive side.
Yeah, all 3 really getting on base and giving Albert Pujols an opportunity to drive them home. See what Yunel Escobar, 2nd in the American League with a batting average of .317. Cole Calhoun, 52 runs scored in 73 games and hitting that number 2 spot. Mike Trout being Mike Trout, 3 home runs, 8 RBI last 6 games combined with a 301 batting average has given Albert that opportunity to drive in runs. And Albert Pujols with 87 RBIs, but really starts with the success in the top 3 of the order for the Angels.
See if the Angels can get it going early against Carlos Carrasco, who has struggled here at home. We're just about ready for baseball in Cleveland. Sit back and relax. Going to bring you the lineups in the first pitch when we return. Deals on low.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check.
Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. By Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Brewhouse Bacon Burger today for limited time only at participating restaurants. By your Southern California Toyota dealers. By Mercury Insurance, on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by the Jeep Renegade. Find your inner Renegade and reach your highest potential with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. Welcome back out to Cleveland. Unlike last night, we should be okay tonight as far as the rain is concerned. There's a possibility an isolated storm may pop through, but nothing like last night. So hopefully we get this one started on time, which we will, and there are no delays, unlike last night when they had 2 of them totaling just over an hour. The Angels, as we mentioned, in the midst of a 7-game losing streak. With a 49-65 record, they're now 18 back in the American League West, but this is the lineup that Mike Scioscia will run out this evening. Of course, at the top of the order, it's Yunel Escobar at third base, Cole Calhoun at right, Mike Trout at center, Albert Pujols at DH, Angels and Simmons kind of taking a hold of that number 5 spot behind Albert. He's the shortstop. Giovanni Stoto getting to start behind the plate tonight. Jeffrey Martes at first, Cliff Pennington back at second, and Shane Robinson tonight is batting 9th and playing left field as they take on the 29-year-old right hitter native of Barquisimeto in Venezuela. His name is Carlos Carrasco.
Carrasco does have very good stuff, 7-6 with a solid ERA, 3.17. My go-tos to be successful against Carrasco is be aware of his changeup. He has a plus changeup and take advantage of carry. We saw that last night. Hit a ball in the air and it's going to carry very well. And another warm night here at Progressive Field here in Cleveland. So square up the baseball. He will elevate on occasion, and that's when you got to take advantage. Fastballs 91, 95, slider, curve, and again that plus changeup.
Here's the defense for the Cleveland Indians tonight. Geyer in left, Davis in center, Almonte in right. The infield with Ramirez and Martinez on the left side, Kipnis and Napoli on the right, and Perez behind the plate.
Davis has always been a solid outfielder throughout his career. 48 start in center field this year. He has 4 assists and involved in 2 double plays. You talk about a guy that can go back on the baseball, but also a strong, accurate throwing arm.
Escobar ready to lead things off. Carrasco His first pitch, it's fastball that's fouled off. And we're underway in Cleveland. Another warm, muggy night. Dark clouds around the ballpark, but still the sun is still trying to peek through the clouds.
Yeah, we had a little bit of rain here right at the start of the game. Just a little shower. Just to cool everyone down.
The Indians did not hit. The Angels did take BP on the field. Escobar last night 0 for 3. As the count even up on him at 1 ball, 1 strike. The Angels total of 6 hits last night. Cliff Pennington had a multi-hit game. It's 90 degrees here this afternoon, early evening. 1-1. That is a little bit high. 2 balls and a strike.
This looks like a chance of a big crowd here. They're still filing in here. Aggressive field.
All Friday night dealing with the traffic. 4-game series. Another night game tomorrow, and then the day game on Sunday. 2-1. On the corner. It's a count. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
One of those unhittable pitches. If an umpire calls it, there's nothing you can do as a hitter. Just barely touching the outside corner. That spot we've said so often is still the best pitch in baseball. Fastball at the knees on the outside corner.
2-2 on the way. Escobar takes outside. Full count.
That is that sharp slider. We showed that in our opening tonight when he threw that against Maben in Detroit. Late break to it. The career high 14 wins last year, 7 so far this year.
18th start of the season tonight for Carrasco. 3-2 is fouled off. One of the big arms that the Indians have in their rotation. 102 in the 3rd innings, 82 hits, 96 strikeouts, 30 walks. First time he's faced the Angels. He was not part of the 3-game series in June at the Big A. Last time he faced the Angels, he had a complete game 1 hitter. That was at the Big A last year. Little bouncer to short. That's Michael Martinez firing it over to first, and there's the first out of the game.
In my Hyundai key for this game, I'm going to soundtrack to my life, looking for some sound off the bat today, especially when Carrasco makes a mistake on the upper part of the strike zone. Talked about the need for the upper part of this lineup to do some damage, but also some damage throughout on mistakes made during the course of this game.
Cole last night 0 for 2. Mike Scioscia removing several of the starters in the 6th inning last night. This game was getting out of hand. Cole will take outside for ball 1. 274 batting average, 19 doubles, 4 triples, 11 home runs, and 55 runs batted in. Playing the pull, not a full overshift. Martinez toward the middle, and that is skied to right center field. Going back on it is Rajai Davis. He's at the wall, and that is gone. Had some carry last night. We get carried tonight. A big fly for Cole Calhoun. And like last night, it's 1-0 Angels, courtesy of a solo home run.
Yeah, we just said this, that sound off the bat. Good sound off the bat by Cole here. Cole is 12th home run of the season. Got a pitch that was out over the inner part of the plate. It's worthy of a Carl's Cam replay. Cole squares that one up, gets it out. Rajai Davis back to the wall. Tried to make the play, but a little bit too far as Cole squares that one up. Starting to hit the ball with authority of late.
17th home run allowed by the right-hander.
Homered in Chicago, homered here in Cleveland for Cole.
Trout takes the strike. Mike 1 for 2. That home run through the 1st inning last night against Corey Kluber. His 22nd of the year. 75 runs batted in. Pulls this one down the line, and that is a fair ball. Jose Ramirez can't believe it. He thought it was a foul ball. It was kind of a nonchalant effort after it because he thought it was a foul ball.
Yeah, Francona's already up off the top step looking to find out how that was called a fair ball.
Alfonso Marquez, the third base umpire, with the call.
And once that crosses the base, it's his call. Before the base, home plate umpire. Tough to tell if I hit any of the chalk or not. It was real close, though. He was right there.
It doesn't have to. It's one of those that it can go. It bounces over the base.
An imaginary line.
Yeah, it can land in foul territory, and it's a fair ball as long as it crosses a portion of the bag.
26 double the season for Trout. You're right down the line here. You see Marquez is right there, and he's pointing right away.
I can see where Terry Francona might have a little argument.
He's pointing right away. We'll take it.
Yeah. So man at second. One out, and here's Albert. Albert last night 1 for 4. We'll take inside for ball 1.
And just like we said in the opening, top 3 in this order. Home run by Cole Calhoun, a double down the line by Trout, giving Albert an opportunity to add on to that RBI total already at 87.
And that is ripped to left. That'll go to the wall. Trout will come in to score. Albert turning and will stop at first. A long RBI single that makes it 2-0.
Again, some great sound off the bat. A line shot to left field by Albert. 88th RBI. Carrasco last 3 starts. ERA over 7.5. See that sound and hear that sound, I should say, off the bat by Albert. A rocket into the corner. Wise decision by Albert to stop. Guy with a pretty good throwing arm out in left field. But the sound off the bat we've heard already.
Amazing thing is for Carrasco that his home numbers not very good. He's been excellent out of the road with a 5-3 mark and a 1.97 ERA. But at home here on his home mound, just 2-3 with an ERA just under 5. He's given up 2. Simmons will take inside. Not only that, he has limited right-handers to batting average just over 200. It's 4th best. Lefties touching him to a 237 average.
Home run split coming into the game at 8 apiece, lefties and righties. Now 9 home runs versus left-handed batters with Cole's home run.
2 balls, no strikes on Simmons. Andrelton 0 for last night, 0 for 3.
But it's a lot of quietness now in the stadium as far as the fans walking in here expecting some excitement right away. The offense kicking in gear.
This one's out toward right. It'll chase Almonte back several steps. He'll make the catch for out number 2, and Albert will get back to first.
There's that carry effect once again, all the way to the wall.
You mentioned the 3-game losing streak for Carrasco, 2 of which were here at home. The other was his last start at New York, and he didn't pitch poorly. That was just got no run support. Gave up 3 runs in 7 innings, struck out 9. Ended up taking the loss.
Like most real good pitchers, that first inning is the inning as an offense you have to try to attack him before he settles in.
Giovanni Soto rips one to left. That will go to the wall. Alba will turn and head to third. Soto on his way to second. And another extra base hit for the Angels here in the first.
So 2 doubles, a home run, and a single in this inning. And a pitch about belt high, drifted inner half of the plate. Soto lines it into the corner, also his 5th double. What we're seeing from Carrasco is that lateral movement on his fastball. He does have some good sink, and it will cut it. His fastball, but drifted right back to the barrel of the bat of Giovanni Soto for a double.
Quick visit to the mound by Mickey Callaway, the pitching coach.
And when you look at numbers against Carrasco this year, when hitters put the ball in play on that Very first pitch on an 0-0 count, 314 batting average with 3 home runs. Cole with a big home run to get this rolling here after a ground out by Escobar to start the game.
Second and third, 2 outs. Jeffrey Marte, the first baseman tonight, up. 257 batting average, 8 home runs, 24 RBIs. He'll swing at that first slider. Jeffrey had a hit last night. And they started at first and finished the game at third base. Ball and a strike. 4 hits for the Halos here in the first inning. 2-0. Two and one.
Pretty good count now to look for a fastball if you're Marte.
Pulls it foul. That one off the screen in front of the Indians dugout we saw last night. A bouncer that hit Carlos Santana in the head. There's Carlos there with the helmet on. Not playing today. Contusion last night. You gotta love teammates.
Oh, yes.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Marte takes low. Full count.
We're just looking over at Carrasco's numbers so far this year, as far as going in. You think about in the first inning, as far as runs, home runs. First home run he's allowed in the first inning this year.
Back now, but Carrasco taking too much time. Cliff Pennington is the man on deck. 2 runs in and 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. Fouls this one back. Reset and do it again. Can't imagine he'd throw him a fastball. But you never know.
Now you got to try to, especially with an open base right here. You have an aggressive hitter at the plate who can hit a fastball very, very well. Maybe doing him a favor. Marte would love to see a fastball.
And he got a fastball and he goes down looking. Got the top part of the zone. The Angels strike for 2. Cole Calhoun with a home run. And then Albert Pujols with an RBI single. And Tyler Skaggs will head to the mound at the bottom of the first with a 2-0 lead. Let's check out Terry Francona's lineup for the first place Cleveland Indians, a 4-game lead in the Central with a 64-48 mark. Rajai Davis will lead things off in center field. Jason Kipnis at second. Francisco Lindor will serve as the DH tonight with Santana out of the lineup. Mike Napoli, the cleanup hitter, had a 4-hit game last night. He's back in that cleanup spot, playing first. Jose Ramirez at third. Brandon Guyer at left. Abraham Almonte at right. Roberto Perez is the catcher. Michael Martinez batting ninth and playing shortstop. Taking on Tyler Skaggs, making his 4th start since coming back from the injury to his left arm. He's 1-0 with a 2.04 ERA.
And he's throwing the ball very well for the most part in his 3 starts, 17 2/3 innings, 17 strikeouts. My go-tos for Tyler to be successful: slow the game down. He told me the other day, especially in Seattle, he was just working a little bit too quickly as far as in his delivery and pitcher's counts. What we saw last night from the Cleveland hitters, they were really patient at the plate to get himself in fastball counts.
Rajai Davis will take a strike. Davis has been a nice signing for Cleveland, hitting .262 through 95 games, 10 home runs, 38 RBIs. Fouls this one back. The guy you want to keep off the bases. 28 stolen bases for the veteran. He's been caught 3 times. Those 28 bags leads the American League. Outside. It's 1-2.
A couple pitches in this sequence for Tyler. Overthrown. We talked about slowing the game down, maintaining that good fluid delivery that he has.
Gave up 4 runs, all earned on 9 hits in his 5 1/3 against Seattle. 2-2. Fouls it back.
Very, very important for a 0 to be put up by Tyler Skaggs. One of the Angels in their last 7 games have scored in the first inning 5 times. Like Socha looking for that shutdown inning from his youngster.
Breaking pitch, rolled foul. Still a 2-2 count. Davis now 35 years of age. He's a Connecticut native. That's a big this for the first time. 06 with Pittsburgh. Full count.
He's really had a solid major league career.
Yeah.
Bounced around the number of teams, but has played well wherever he's gone to.
Parts of 11 seasons. 268 career hitter. Payoff on the way. And he'll foul this one back. Davis' last couple of seasons with Detroit. He's been with the Pirates, the Giants, Oakland, Toronto, Detroit, and now Cleveland. Another foul. If I remember correctly, I want to say he was a waiver pickup by Oakland from the Giants at one time. And for some reason that sounds. Yeah,
I think you're right on that.
April of 2008. A waiver claim.
This will be the 10th pitch. This at bat against Davis for Skaggs.
Another foul.
Recall Davis had a long at bats earlier this year where he fouled off a lot of pitches to start a game. The guy early in his career, though, you can expand the strike zone, especially on a breaking ball and bounce it. He would swing at.
And he walked him. Davis for the old bat drop and a stare out toward the mound. Works the walk after falling behind at 0-2. Let's check out the Angels defensively. Shane Robinson at left, Mike Trout at center, Cole Calhoun at right. The infield with Yunel Escobar, Andrew Simmons, Cliff Pennington, and Jeffrey Marte from third to first, and Soto behind the plate.
And with Skaggs on the mound, expect a lot of ground ball action. And Anderson Simmons, one of the best in that position in all of baseball. This one earned his last 25 games since the All-Star break, won the Gold Glove.
for the Atlanta Braves back in 2013 and 14.
Big lead for Davis right from the get-go. Jason Kipnis at the plate. And he will take inside.
And you mentioned it was 28 stolen bases for Davis this season, but he has stolen 7 bases against left-handed pitchers, 7 of 8. It's a pretty good percentage against lefty pitchers.
Career high 50 stolen bases for the Oakland Athletics in 2010. Total of 350 in his big league career.
I expect to see a pickoff move at some point here for Tyler. He does have a good pickoff move.
Davis takes off to throw down to second late. Make that 29th stolen base.
8th against the left-handed pitcher. Guessing going on first movement. Big jump for Davis. Looks in, slides in easily for a stolen base and scoring position now for Kipnis.
Kipnis last night 1 for 2 with a couple of runs scored. Drew 2 walks. 285 on the year. Davis takes off. The pitch is low. The throw not in time. Well, as we said, when he came to the plate, you want to keep him off the bases because he will run.
Now 30 stolen bases. And you don't vary your look. He's going to get a big jump, and he certainly got one. Slides in there before the tag is applied by Escobar. Ricky Henderson, the all-time great as far as stealing bases, said the easiest stolen base there is the steal of third base.
.30. A strike. Halo scored a run last night in the first. Cleveland answered with 5 at the bottom of the first. Kipnis fouls it off. Full count. Davis down the line at third. Nobody out. 3-2. Kipnis lines with a left. They'll get one of those runs back. An RBI single for Jason Kipnis. That's his 63rd run batted in.
Kipnis has been very effective against left-handed pitching himself, is staying back, using the whole field, hits that base hit in the left field. 63rd RBI. And right away, the Indians responded to 2 runs the Angels scored. We've said that throughout this whole road trip, looking for that shutdown inning. A long at bat by Davis before working a walk, and then 2 stolen bases, and then a base hit by Kipnis.
Dort trying to bunt his way on, fouls it. So no one count on the shortstop. .304 batting average, 14 home runs and 58 RBIs. Lindor serving as a DH tonight. Their everyday shortstop, has been for the last couple of seasons. Second in the Rookie of the Year balloting last year. 1-1. It's fouled back. 1-2. Kipnis with 10 stolen bases. Has been caught 3 times. Is over at first. 20 pitch. Bottom of the first, but 11 of those to Rajay Davis. Eventually worked a walk. And a swing and a miss.
That's that nasty breaking ball for Skaggs. Much better feel for that one. Under control. Got a very good hitter to swing and miss on it. Downward tilt on that curveball. Excellent from Skaggs.
There's Napoli. That's in the 4-for-4 game last night. At 4 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Swings first pitch, loops one behind second base. Pennington with the shift on, cuts across on the shortstop side, puts it away for the second out.
Got that fastball in enough on Napoli. Couldn't quite bring his hands in with the shift on. Was able to make the play by being in that spot, just drifting over there to shortstop side of the base by Cliff Pennington. Big out anytime you get Napoli out anymore against the Angels. That's a big out, but he got the fastball in. Talked about Napoli's batting average against a fastball. Just 229, jammed him enough.
Ramirez, the third baseman, takes down and in.
Been a couple conversations already in this first inning with Soto and Skaggs, trying to get on the same page. Usually doesn't happen that often in the first inning, especially when you warm up together in the bullpen and already going through the scouting reports to start a game.
Ramirez, a switch hitter, hitting .309 on the season. He'll foul this one off. A lot of foul balls already in the early part of this game.
I know we say that a lot when Dan Herron was on the Angels. A lot of foul balls, those cut fastballs away. What we're seeing so far from Tyler is some elevated pitches with his fastball. Generally, when he's downstairs, and that's what he told me he needed to get back to, is the fastball at the knees, both inside and outside. Elevate when need be, but not consistently.
Kipnis takes off, pitches a strike, and Kipnis picks up his 11th stolen base. The third bag picked up by Cleveland.
It's 87 stolen bases as a team. Big jump once again, going on first, moving down a whole lot that Soto could do on that one.
Giovanni thrown out a total of 3 of 18 coming into play tonight. This one's fouled off. Cal remains at 1-2.
Wait, as good as this Cleveland club has played this year, being in first place in the AL Central, you got Mike Napoli having a great year, Lindor, Kipnis too, but when you talk about guys that really have performed very well for Terry Francona, it's Ramirez, especially in these spots.
And he'll go down swinging on the breaking ball. So Skaggs limits it to just 1 run. We'll head to the second with the Angels leading at 2-1. inning. Angels will send up Pennington, Robinson, and Escobar here to face Carlos Carrasco. Gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, a home run to Cole, and long single to Albert Pujols. Cliff swinging first pitch, comes up empty. 2-hit game last night. 244 average. His 36th game, getting to start at second once again. One of those hits a home run, his 3rd of the year.
Both pitches to a lot of pitches in that first inning. Carrasco with 24. Skaggs with 27.
Oh, 2. That's a called strike 3 on the outside corner. 1 down. Get your red on as the Angels take on the Seattle Mariners beginning on Monday, August 15th. Fans in attendance that night will receive a Panama golf hat courtesy of San Diego Zoo Safari Park while supplies last. Just go to angels.com/promotions to get your tickets today. 1 out, nobody on, and it's Shane Robinson tonight getting to start in left. Got 1 at bat, came into the game late, taking over for Trout at center. Just a 188 batting average for Shane.
And the one thing I think is as you progress in this game, especially with some of the right-handed batters, is I think in terms of potentially push button down that first base line, Napoli will play a pretty deep first base. But that's going to be wide open for you if you can push down that first base line.
Two and 1. '51st game for Shane Robinson with the Angels this year. A couple of doubles, a home run, 7 RBIs. 3 and 1. G-Man Choi got the start at left last night, and it's Robinson tonight. Tay in the lineup at first. Top of the order, and Escobar on deck. Two down.
All of a sudden starting to locate his fastball and his off-speed pitch. Always very, very good. His 2-seam fastball, 94-mile-an-hour fastball away. Swing and miss. After falling behind in the count, 3-1 ends up with a strikeout. That's 3 in a row now. One thing you'll notice with Carrasco, I think we've seen a lot of times now in baseball where the starting pitcher starts even with no one on base in the stretch position. That's more of a changeup grip he starts with, then brings the fingers in, but it's still going to be a changeup. Batters this year against Carrasco on all speed pitches is 158 batting average, 4th best in baseball for Carrasco in that all speed pitch.
A dribbler left side, barehanded by Carrasco, slipped and falls down, but throws out Escobar for the 3rd out. A 1-2-3 second. We'll head to the bottom of the inning with the Angels on top. 2nd. Want to remind you to join us for Ducks Night coming up on Tuesday, August 16th. Angels taking on the Mariners. Game 2 of that 4-game series. Go to angels.com/ducks and get an exclusive ticket package that includes a ticket to the game and a co-branded hat. Brandon Geyer, left fielder tonight, takes a strike to lead off the 2nd inning. It'll be Geyer, Almonte, and Perez. 7 and 8 for Cleveland here the 2nd. See if Skaggs can return the favor. And he'll drive this one out toward right center field. Trout will pull up as Skaggs cannot. Geyer has tied it up with a home run to right center field. His 8th of the season and his 1st as a Cleveland Indian.
Well, Geyer stayed back on this off-speed pitch, break the ball very well, and drove it out to center field. Foot down, this pitch stayed up and out over the plate. We talked about how well the baseball is carrying here in this yard. These first 2 games out to center field for a solo shot to tie it up at 2. Eighth home run now, 20 RBI on the season. 1st as a Cleveland Indian, 7 with the Rays.
5 for 11 as an Indian since coming over. And Almonte will take a strike. Almonte, left fielder last night, right fielder tonight. In a 3-hit game to raise his average of 292. A home run and 7 RBIs on the year. Ball would strike. Looked like he went around. He did. 1-2. Tyler had allowed 2 home runs in the last start. Gives up 1 here to start the 2nd. 3rd of the year. 2-2 game here in the 2nd. Ground ball to the right side. That's Pennington moving over. 1 down.
Always believe that's when Tyler's on his game, when he's getting ground ball outs. He'll get his share of strikeouts because he's got that great curveball. Live downstairs with the fastball, also the breaking ball and changeup, and get a lot of ground ball outs. Can go deeper in the game, get quicker outs. Save that plus fastball when you need it in certain situations.
Perez, the catcher, up. He was behind the plate last night. He'll take a strike. Last night, 1 for 4. Double to left field. His one and only hit. 5 for 50 this year.
That's a great spot. Back-to-back fastballs at the knees. Good downhill action with that pitch.
That's a called strike 3. Down goes Perez. 2 down.
3 straight fastballs. All on the inner half of the plate. Target set. Just a little bit off the inside corner, but close enough to get the call. 3rd strike. 3rd strike out of the game for Skaggs. First looking.
Perez kind of slammed his bat a little bit on the ground just because the first 2 pitches maybe borderline away. That's tough when you as a hitter are looking at an umpire that's given the pitcher both sides of the plate. Now it's a fair ball off the bat of Martinez. Cole up with it, firing. Martinez, good speed, trying to stretch it into a double, and the ball gets away from Simmons. So Michael Martinez with a double with 2 outs.
Boy, Cole charged that one perfectly in that strong throwing arm. Simmons has been so good as far as catching that baseball and applying a tag as quick as possible, right down the right field line. To carry him off the wall in very good throwing position. The momentum going right towards second base. The one-hop throw as Simmons tried to catch that one. Kind of screened though on that one. Very difficult. The scoop. Inside fastball. And Martinez inside out of that one down the right field line. Then that dive, it screened. Simmons unable to catch that one, but a firm throw once again by the 2015 Gold Glover from right field, Cole Calhoun.
There's Rajai Davis. Worked a walk. Stole 2 bases and scored a run at the first. Davis pops it up. Jeffrey Marte is there. He'll make the catch. Inning over. Brandon Guyer, however, with his first home run as an Indian, ties things up at 2 as we head to the third. For the Angels here in the third in a 2-2 game. We followed by Jonathan Pujols. Go 1-for-1 with a home run to right center field in the first inning. 12th of the year, 56th run batted in. We'll take a breaking pitch down low.
We're going back to that first inning for Cole against Carrasco. Pitch that drifted on the inner half of the plate, and he crushed that one out. Right center field, 12th home run. Second on this road trip for Cole Calhoun.
Second since the All-Star break. And homered since June 25th before he homered in Chicago. He's ahead of the count of 2 balls and no strikes.
Fourth home run in his career here in this ballpark. That's that changeup. It's a plus changeup for Carrasco. It's going to settle in around 86 to 88 range, this changeup. Fastball's 91 to 95. It also has that slider in the low 80s. Curveball also, so some differential on all the speeds of his pitches make him so effective.
This was lined to left center field. It's a base hit, and that's going to go for extras. Cole will round it, head to second. It's a leadoff double.
Well, how often on this trip have you seen Cole drive the ball that way? His home run in Chicago to left center field. Stayed back on this one again. An all-speed pitch. This time the changeup was upstairs enough. About thigh high and went the other way with it. fooled him on the changeup before, but this time stayed back and lines it for a double. His 20th double.
Cole with a career high 31 doubles 2 seasons ago. Last year with 23. But the power numbers jumped for him to 26 home runs. He's in scoring position. Here's Trout. One ball, no strikes. Interesting defensive alignment. Now they switch it. But they had Kipnis staying at home at second and Martinez a shortstop. Trying to keep Cole close to the bag, which opens up the left side. Which kind of goes counter to what we've seen this year as far as shifts are concerned.
I pretty much should tell you they're going to pitch him away, you would think. A lot of times how you set up the infield defense against certain hitters dictates how you're going to pitch to them. We've seen a lot of clubs try to pitch Trout inside with fastballs. But if you're going to pitch him away, there's no way you can put your second baseman behind that second base bag. It leaves that room a lot to that right side of the infield.
1-2.
Breaking ball count for Trout. 325 batting average versus breaking balls, third best in the majors for Trout. Carrasco will try slider or curveball here.
And the dirt gets away from Perez, and Cole will get into third. Wild pitch.
Third wild pitch of the season for Carrasco. He tried a slider. Just far enough away for a good secondary lead. Good read by Cole. Hit first slide. Now in position for Trout. Even a ground ball out to a middle infielder will give the Angels the lead.
Two balls, two strikes. Full count. Albert's on deck. Cole with a leadoff double over third with a wild pitch. Halos with 2 in the first. Indians with 1 in the first, 1 in the second. And he'll go down swinging on the breaking ball. 1 down.
That sharp, tight slider. Even though Trout has such good numbers against a breaking ball, that is a tough one there from Carrasco to get a swing and miss. 4th strikeout of the game.
Infield back, 1 out. Here's Albert. RBI single. His first at bat. 88th RBI for Albert. Trickles this one foul. It's an 0-1 count. Albert coming into play tonight, third in the RBI category. Encarnacion of the Blue Jays with 94. David Ortiz with 88. Napoli with his big game last night, just behind Albert with 83. Oh, what? Breaks his bat, rolls one up the line. That is a fair ball. It'll score a run. And the Angels are back on top 3-2.
When you talk about running a fastball well off the inside corner, it's slow enough to allow Cole to score on the contact play. Gets over to third on a wild pitch, scores on a slow roller down the third baseline. Albert's second RBI of the game.
That's the hard way.
That's working for an RBI. That's a fastball way in. Stay right down the line. That's going to stay fair. That ball had a chance of hitting Albert if he doesn't swing.
That ball was foul. He hit it into foul territory and it came back. Little dribbler. Carrasco off the mound. Very gingerly, mind you. He spent some time with the disabled list earlier this year with a hamstring injury, but he gets the out. The Angels retake the lead. It's 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the third.
Charles Nagy, the Angels pitching coach, had a fantastic career with the Cleveland Indians. Three-time All-Star, 129 wins during his career with the Indians, 10th all-time. Pitching in 95 and 97 World Series for Cleveland. 5th in majors. W's, 95 through 99. Very good mechanics, fluid mechanics. Always under control, quiet, but an incredibly tough competitor.
Bulldog before Bulldog got here.
Exactly.
Kipnis, Lindor, and Napoli. The bottom of the third. Kipnis with an RBI single his first time up.
Just talking to Weave and the rest of the guys on the pitching staff, when I asked them about how their conversation and rapport is with Charles Nagy, they said he's just incredibly confident, under control. It's that good tone of voice he has, but always positive.
Kipnis doesn't like the call by Larry Vanover, and it's 1-2.
And he certainly had to deal with a lot of stuff this year with a lot of key members of the pitching staff out for such a long period of time this year, including the ace of the staff and Garrett Richards, who may start throwing on Monday.
Called strike 3. Larry Vanover ringing up Kipnis. He barked on the previous pitch. Now Larry rings him up.
Break a ball. Upper part of the strike zone according to our Fox tracks. Second called third strike of his 4 strikeouts in the game for Tyler Skaggs.
There's Lindor. He struck out on the big curveball his first time up. He'll foul the first one. Tyler, 44 pitches, 32 strikes. Chopper to second. Big bounce for Pennington. 2 down. Two up, 2 down, and Napoli coming up. Soft line drive to Pennington in his first at bat. '60th game against the Angels tonight. He's put up pretty stupid numbers against the Halos through those First 59 games.
"19 home runs against the Yankees since 2011 when Nelson Cruz with more." First at bat, Skaggs jammed him with a fastball. Fastball right there, inside again.
Down in the dirt. 2-1 count.
When you look at certain hitters, the way their timing mechanism on a leg kick for Napoli, pretty high leg kick, and gets that foot down, and all of a sudden those hips start to open up, clearing that path for his power to be able to barrel up on a baseball. The swing path, very solid. Yeah, hits the drive there, a mislocated fastball. Still think you can get a firm fastball up and in on him and get him out.
Breaking pitch is cued. Picked up by Skaggs, and a 1-2-3 inning for Tyler, the shutdown inning. We'll head to the fourth with the Angels up 3-2. Again, the top of the fourth inning. Stay tuned later tonight at the postgame show for the business of sports, brought to you by AutoNation.com and powered by AutoNation Toyota Cerritos. Giovanni Soto, Jeffrey Martin, Cliff Pennington for the Angels here against Carlos Carrasco. Soto with a double in his first at bat, jumped on that first pitch. Giovanni picking up his 5th double of the year. Just his 25th game. A couple of stints on the disabled list. Knee surgery. And then the old sore right knee. Two balls and a strike.
One thing for sure we've seen from Larry Vanover behind the plate, he will call the borderline pitches. So as a hitter, close to those corners, you have to be thinking in terms of swinging the bat.
Two balls, two strikes. jammed him. 53rd pitch thrown by Indian starter. Giovanni will pick up some new lumber. Put some time on the disabled as Carrasco did. Mentioned the hamstring issue. Covering first base on a ground down. The Tigers went down.
Well, they thought he was going to be out for a long time. Got back a little bit quicker than they anticipated.
Yeah, they said originally 4 to 6 weeks, maybe a little longer. Terry Francona on the left, Brad Mills, his bench coach, on the right there. 2-2. Soto goes down, swinging one away.
Little slider. And that might have been his changeup there. Just dropped his wrist a little bit to create movement on his changeup. Talk about that being a plus pitch, 5th strikeout of the game. So to talk about that action on that pitch. He was anticipating that changeup, like he said, going down and ended up cutting a little bit more than anticipated.
Marte went down looking at his first at bat. Carrasco making his 8th appearance, 4th start of his career against the Angels. Just 1-0. A 1.36 ERA. I mentioned that complete game 1 hitter last year at the Big A. Two and one. The last thing you want to do is run into a Cleveland Indians team when you have that rotation clicking all at the same time. Salazar is in there, Kluber, Carrasco. That is a tough 3-game series.
And Bauer's throwing the
Bauer
ball
this
very
year,
well.
yeah.
Tomlin. It's Bauer. Throwing the ball very well this season. Pitching deep into games early in his career. A lot of pitches thrown. Been able to go deep into games, but has been able to finish a couple off this year.
Marte lifts one out to right. Almonte back a couple of steps. Now will come back in. 2 outs. Bases clear for Cliff Pennington. Struck out swinging. Trying to push a bunt up the third base line. It goes foul. No balls and a strike. Crowd tonight. Rain so far is held off. Tomorrow might be a different story. That'll be an FS1 game.
Yeah, if you're Cliff Pennington, that's what you're going to try to do with this at bat, to drive the ball to get yourself into the scoring position. 94-mile-an-hour fastball, a little bit late on it.
Pennington pulls one to the right side. Kipnis can't come up with it. It's a 2-out single. So Robinson will bow with a man on.
Pennington does not have a stolen base yet this year, but he runs well. Anticipating thinking about trying to steal a base. Robinson with good career numbers against Cleveland, 455.
Shane struck out swinging at his first at bat. With 5 strikeouts for Carrasco. Halos up 3-2. We're in the 4th. 6 hits for the Angels, 3 for Cleveland. This one's out toward right center field. Rajay Davis got a good jump on it. Ball tailing away from him, but he will still track it down for the 3rd out. Shane gave it a ride, but Davis makes the catch. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Angels still leading it. Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Subaru. We believe in making the world a better place. That's why we donate to causes we care about. By El Pollo Loco, try the new overstuffed quesadillas today. And by Heffernan Insurance Brokers, insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. Overcast skies in Cleveland. We had a couple of rain delays last night. So far, so good tonight. The Angels up 3-2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning as Jose Ramirez leads things off. It's Tyler Skaggs, and he will look at a strike. Ramirez struck out in the 1st. No balls, 2 strikes.
Working ahead there, Skaggs working quickly now. Ramirez very solid against off-speed pitches. 353 batting average against off-speed.
Punches this one to right field.
And that was against an off-speed pitch, went the other way.
Leadoff man on board. Tyler coming off of his first 1-2-3 inning in the 3rd, gives up that leadoff single, and Brandon Guyer will step up. Over to right center field in his first at bat. Takes low. Ramirez will run, so you got to pay attention to him. 14 stolen bases. He's been caught 5 times.
Cleveland with 3 stolen bases in this game already. This guessing right going on first move. We haven't seen Skaggs' good move to first base yet. That was about his B or C move to first base. Tyler has a very good move. Saving out for the right time.
I think the Indians, just based on the fact that they have run all season long and Got a guy behind the plate that has struggled throwing out would-be base stealers. Try to exploit that, especially down a run. And there goes Ramirez. It's perhaps a little hit run, although Ramirez wasn't looking back. Guy just had a pitch to drive there.
No, that was a straight steal. He had a pretty good jump again. Took about 2-3 steps before the baseball was delivered. It was an all-speed pitch once again. Also, you could tell by the way he was sliding in there. Did not look at home. No doubt it was not a hit and run. It was a straight steal.
The guy swinging a pitch that would have been out of the zone.
Yeah, and it was already a 1-0 count. You got to let that one go.
Thrust into a good situation coming over from the Rays. Like the Angels 18 back in the division to all of a sudden the first place team. Ramirez on the move. The pitch upstairs. The throw down a little bit high. And Ramirez picks up the stolen base, his 15th of the year.
Well, I keep looking at each base runner as they look over to Sandy Alomar Jr. and just trying to get a feel for when they should go. And another big jump. And a slide in there for Ramirez's 15th stolen base. Sandy Alomar Jr. has done a very good job. At some point, there's no doubt he should be a manager in the major leagues. He's done a great job at first base. He's just looking in to see what kind of sign he can give a runner to go against Skaggs.
Full count on Geyer.
One thing you got to remember here now with the runner at second base for Cleveland, not that they're going to give a sign this guy's going to, but it could be location to reach back or lean towards third if it's going to be inside or outside. Late as far as setting up for Soto here, as you can see. Just to make sure they're aware that they may be able to see that. Cole Calhoun came running in from the outfield all the way back in the first inning to talk to Soto and to Skaggs that he thought that maybe they may be given location, not pitch, but location as a base runner at second. You lean back.
Geyer pulls one down the line. Robinson toward the corner on the track and in foul territory makes the catch. Gets the baseball back in quickly. One down. Not an easy play.
Especially when you're dealing with that high wall down there in the corner and as it drifts towards the other wall, foul territory. Keeping an eye on the baseball, know exactly where he's at. He's at the warning track, knows he's got a few steps either way as he gets right towards that wall and gets it in quickly to not allow Ramirez to tag up. Well played by Shane Robinson. And just keep an eye on Soto before he sets up on this pitch. He'll stay there to the last second and then drift in or away. Obviously, as we know, with Tyler Skaggs coming back from his injury, never want to put him in a situation where he's about ready to deliver the baseball. Then time is called. On the follow through, then time is called. Pretty late on that one.
Abraham Almonte 0 for 1 with the ground out.
See, if you got Ramirez, if he starts leaning back towards the base, that's a pretty good indication the catcher may be setting up away. Leans towards third, means he's setting up in.
Ramirez takes off and picks up another stolen base. Second of the game for him, fifth of the game for Cleveland.
And another real big jump.
Even if Soto's able to handle that pitch, it's going to be in there easily. Keep in mind, Tyler has only allowed 1 stolen base and 1 attempt when he's been on the mound this season in 3 starts. 5 tonight. Infield in now for the Angels.
This one shot up the middle, a base hit. We're tied back up at 3. Almonte with an RBI single scores Ramirez.
And we talk a lot about the power that Cleveland has, but when you look at this game so far, 2 of the runs have been manufactured with their speed. Davis with 2 stolen bases in the first inning, scored on a single. Ramirez singles, steals 2 bases, then scores on another base hit.
Let's check in on Almonte over at first base. Perez, the batter. The catcher's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Almonte has 1 stolen base, has not been caught stealing. We'll check in on him.
Well, I miss watching the Sandy Alomar Jr. at his angle from that first base coaching box. He's just looking in right exactly on the pitching rubber, and where Tyler will, if he crosses the rubber, he has to go home. A lot of times with a left-handed pitcher, you'll be as close to that pitching rubber as possible. Sometimes you can bring your knee back beyond it, but as long as your foot is in front, you can either throw the first or the home. And he's looking at exactly what he's trying to do here. A very good catcher throughout his career, 6-time an All-Star. And the one thing about a team that's stealing some bases against you as a pitcher, and all of a sudden it throws you off your rhythm. You're all of a sudden paying way more attention to the base runner than you are to the batter at the plate, and then you fall behind in some counts. I'm going to throw him a fastball in here.
Popped him up. Anderson Simmons calling for it. 2 down. Interesting way to make that play.
Almost as if he thought about letting that ball land. Thought about it. That would have been a tough one. And then try to get a double play out of it. Where he catches this baseball.
Perez was actually running down the line, so he was close to first base. Although what you could have done is exchanged runners, but Almonte's not a burner by any stretch. And you run the risk of doing something and maybe it blows up on you. Just take the out, right? There's Martinez, a 9th place hitter. Singled his first time up, rolls this one foul. Another throw over just to let the Indians know, hey, we're checking on you now.
And Almonte's not getting a real big lead, but that's really not imperative with a left-handed pitcher. You just got to guess right. Go on first movement. Against a right-handed pitcher, you always look for that size of the lead to give you a better chance. Against a lefty, you're just going on first movement. Going with a change-up here.
And that's driven out toward right field, chasing Cole back. And he will make the catch as he backpedals onto the track for the third out. Cleveland ties it up as we head to the fifth. It's a 3-3 game.
Tools of the trade brought to you by Ram Truck. Sometimes you have to be creative to get a baseball at the ballpark. The can, the magnet, be able to bring that one up. That souvenir, and by an Angel fan. Well thought out. Good effort there.
Absolutely. It's genius.
He says, hey man, can you throw me a baseball? No, I'm going to do it myself. Take the initiative.
Top of the fifth, a 3-3 tie. Yunel Escobar to lead things off. Get tired of asking pitchers if he could have a ball. The pitcher's responding with, you can have all the fun you want. Because that never gets old, especially out in the bullpen.
No. Especially at certain stadiums, too, when you're on the road. You always get a great response back by the fan.
Yunel is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. He's in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. Line to second, 1 out. Sharply hit by Yunel, but right to Jason Kipnis.
He stayed back on that baseball, let it travel deep in the zone, the outside part of the plate, lined it at Kipnis for an out.
Cole 2 for 2 with a home run in the first, a double to left center in the second. Pardon me, that was a third inning at bat for Cole.
Pretty impressive when you think about it. Cole coming into this game against Carrasco 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts. A home run and a double, 2 runs scored in this game.
First multi extra base hit game for him since June 14th. Doesn't like that strike call by Larry Vanover.
Vanover has called the high strike throughout this game.
He's called everything.
was like old school National League umpire back in the day before you had the American League umpires and you had the National League umpires. They wanted that pace of the game quicker. They were calling those borderline pitches because you were up there hacking if you were in the National League.
Larry looks like he's ready for football season with those shoulder pads. Old school quarterback pads.
Oh, yes.
No balls, 2 strikes. I still think because everything that is old is new again, it's usually everything is cyclical. Somebody's got to bring back the big chest protector behind the plate. The big balloon chest protector.
Yes. That's when you used to get the high strike back in the day in the American League.
They couldn't look down.
You couldn't look down. But for a sinker ball pitcher like myself, you preferred the umpires to look like this right now.
Ground ball right side. Kipnis to his left. Found a teammate. Retires him for the second out. Did you ever umpire? Like coming up? Little
Couple
league
times,
and
yeah.
stuff
A couple
like that,
times I
and your
did, yeah.
team stuff. They still had those. You know, you
Yes.
go to the shed and you, because you're just using the gear that's there.
Oh, believe me, I did use that one. And as soon as the baseball was out of the pitcher's hand, it was pretty close to being a strike.
It's like the size of a futon mattress. That's what it felt like too.
You felt pretty comfortable though that you weren't going to get hurt with a foul ball.
Right. Usually ricochet back and hit the catcher in the back of the head.
So you wanted to be a catcher.
That's right. John, a double and a strikeout.
Yeah, you can see by the reaction for Trout, he had one to drive. It was a changeup.
That's a pitch that got him on the strikeout in this last at bat.
Well, it's so awful for a hitter when you have a pitch, a mistake pitch, and you don't pull the trigger on it. All of a sudden, you do expand the strike zone and you chase that breaking ball well off the outside corner. Even the best of them do it.
That's a called strike 3. Got the breaking ball and he knew it. A 1-2-3 inning for Carrasco. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th, tied at 3. The Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Bottom of the fifth, tied at 3. Rajai Davis at the top of the order coming up for Cleveland. Tyler Skaggs, 67 pitches, 47 for strikes. Four strikeouts so far. Davis takes way upstairs. Oh for 1. Walk. 11 pitch plate appearance in the first. Stole 2 bases and scored a run that first time.
Pretty good. Yeah, that was pretty good hits on that one.
It's 2-0.
You got the benefit of that call, that fastball there, maybe a little bit off the inside corner.
Can there be a carryover effect for Skaggs against Davis after that 11 pitch plate appearance in the first inning?
Yeah, I think what you concern yourself with is obviously with you want to make sure you're throwing strikes and you try to be too fine.
Davis lines with a left, and it's a leadoff single.
After falling behind there, we talked about as far as go-tos for Tyler in this game is getting the pitchers counts, not hitters counts. And that was a hitter's count, a base hit. Now you have that stolen base threat once again. Cleveland with already 5 stolen bases as a team tonight, including 2 by Davis.
Indians have stolen 5+ bases in a game 3 times this year, the most they've done since 1994.
Kenny Lofton time there with Cleveland.
You'll see plenty of throws over to first. If you saw them with Almonte at first base, you will certainly see them with Davis. It's 30 stolen bases on the year. Kipnis 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Now another conversation with Soto and Skaggs.
And this is one of those times, especially in this count, you're going to probably see Davis going. That's a pretty good sized lead. He's just going to go on first movement. For Tyler to get him, he's going to be able to hold that leg up higher and then throw over the first base.
Huge lead for Davis at first. Talk about comfort zone as far as knowing how far you can get off a bag. They're over. It's such a difficult play for first baseman. We see it more and more nowadays. First baseman, especially a right-handed first baseman, playing where he is at, not only catch a throw and then blindly apply a tag behind him.
That's a long tag to have. And as a base runner, you're going to that back part of the base, so it's even longer for a first baseman.
Let's throw to first. And then you can see Marte, it's just a blind swipe. Remember Bobby Valentine, who was managing the New York Mets, made that kind of a thing, starting with John Olerud. But then again, you're talking about John Olerud.
Yeah.
And left-handed.
Yep. Again, you're distracted from the hitter. Plays into Kipnis' hand right now. You're going to try to be quicker to the plate.
Davis takes off. The throw to second. Not close.
And he gets the timing right once again. 6th stolen base. The game 3rd by Davis. See, when I talk about being able to hold that front leg up a little bit longer, if he's able to hold that, keep his hands a little bit closer to the body for Tyler, he can then throw over the first base. You got to be close enough to the pitching rubber where you don't cross it, because if you do, you have to go home.
2-0 count on Kipnis. Someone's trying to keep Davis close to the bag. Bouncer foul. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Indians' record for stolen bases in a game is 8. It was in 1917. Six tonight, and yet another conversation. Simmons coming in as well.
75 pitches, 50 of them strikes, 2-to-1 ratio. Pretty solid for Skaggs. And the speed and the threat of a stolen base has really slowed down the pace for Tyler. A very, very quick worker normally. Got to vary that look back to second for Tyler.
On the corner. If Kipnis takes another pitch like that, he might blow a gasket.
Yeah.
Wasn't happy when he got rung up in his last at bat.
And that pitch was about a baseball off the outside corner again. Brought back by Soto, got the call. From Skaggs at some point, I just step off the pitching rubber when I get in a stretch position. Because what he's going to try to do, he's going to try to time you. So if he does that, you step off quickly. He might be in the process of trying to steal third base. You step off and then make that throw quickly over to Escobar at third.
Breaking pitch, and this one's out toward left field, and Robinson's not going to get there. Took a poor route to the baseball. It'll go to the wall. It's an RBI double, and Cleveland is back on top 4-3.
See that angle that Robinson took on it, came in, then had to go back on the baseball. And if you're a pitcher on that play right there, you're thinking, okay, it's a pretty good position you're going to put yourself in. It's going to be a fly ball out. Davis won't be able to advance more than likely. Instead, he scores, and then you have to deal with Kipnis now at second, who already has a stolen base himself.
Picked up his 11th earlier in the game. First inning to be exact. Lindor takes a strike. Francisco, the DH tonight, 0 for 2. A strikeout and a ground out.
You talk about a big moment in the game here for Skaggs and the Angels. They have no outs, another runner in scoring position against a very good hitter in Lindor. You're trying to get an out, but you're also trying to get it out without allowing Kipnis to advance to third.
Little flare out to right field. That'll get down for a hit. Kipnis is going to be waved home. The throw from Cole is not in time. An RBI single for Francisco Lindor makes it 5-3 Cleveland.
Runs a fastball up and in, and most times there's going to be a flare in the outfield. It's an elevated fastball. Cole charged it well, a pretty good throw. But Kipnis is too quick, a little bit up that first base line. He's able to slide in and touch home plate. See that throw. Lindor's got to get out of the way. It was a low throw right over his helmet.
Napoli fouls it off. 0 for 2 today. A line drive and a ground out. Three straight hits to start this 5th inning. Still nobody out.
He's got good speed himself. He's got 14 stolen bases. And if you're Cleveland, you've been successful stealing the base. Why would you not try that right now if you're Lindor? Trying to get a little bit bigger lead, Lindor. Quick conversation with Sandy Alomar Jr. and Lindor over at first. See what to look for. That's the value of a good first base coach, to be able to see those things.
Good lead for Lindor. 0-2 to Napoli. He yanks this one into left. High fastball. Lindor will go to third as Shane Robinson just airmails everybody. Unfortunately, Skaggs was between third and home. Otherwise, Napoli ends up at second base.
Mike Scioscia getting on the phone and giving it over to Charles Nagy to call down to the bullpen. High fastball, got his arms extended. And on the backhand on the throw and the high throw. At that point, you don't even see Lindor, but he was already thinking about rounding and going. When we talk about it, we talked about it in the beginning, we talked about it yesterday, the power of Cleveland, but their ability to be aggressive running, both stealing bases and going and taking the extra bases, really forced the issue here tonight against the Angels and Tyler Skaggs.
Robinson getting charged with an error, allowing Lindor to get to third base. Dale Esquera getting ready.
And it's a tough spot for Skaggs with Ramirez at the plate. He has been so good this season with runners in scoring position. .382 batting average from Ramirez at the plate. Tops in baseball coming into the game.
First and third, nobody out. Here's Jose Ramirez. 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single. Takes a strike. And it seems as if, Gooby, that especially with Davis getting on board, the mindset of having to deal with the potential stolen base because of the 6 bags already. Kind of thrown Tyler off just a tad. He's missing spots here. This is a bouncer to Escobar. He'll go to Pennington for 1. Coming home was Lindor. The throw short hop Soto. And so they only get 1 out. It's a fielder's choice.
Lindor drifting down the line, was waiting for that throw to second, and he started to go home. And then the 1-hop throw gets away from Soto. Otherwise, they do have a play on it.
So it's still first and third. Ramirez replacing Napoli at first base, and Brandon Guyer coming up.
Yeah, we mentioned those teams in the 90s when we were talking about Charles Nagy for Cleveland. Kenny Lofton was leading off. That stress of a stolen base really helped that team. They scored a lot of runs, they had a lot of power, but they did have a lot of speed.
Guyer swings through the high fastball. Sixth man to come to the plate here in this fifth inning. 2 runs in. 5-3 Indians. Guerra ready to go if necessary. Pull shift on the infield. And Ramirez takes off, and it's a stolen base.
I was going to say that you would think he'd be on the move to take away a potential double play ball. Another big jump. Third stolen base of the game for Ramirez. Davis with 3 stolen bases. Terry Francona has this club being very aggressive.
No balls, 2 strikes. Breaking pitch fouled off the first base side. This one's out of play.
We were touching base on Cleveland and what they project as potential. They can hold on and win this division and a run in the postseason, about being a complete team. We were even talking about it, Victor, before the game. This team is pretty complete as far as what they can do. Yeah, they would love to have Michael Brantley back in the lineup. If they got him back, they'd be that much better. When you see them as aggressive as they are here stealing bases that go along with the power they have, they are a very strong team.
I think the base stealing makes up for the fact that they did get Lucroy. They've been pushing the envelope all season long, but I think they will continue to do that. They'll get Yan Gomes back, their catcher, at some point in September. That'll help solidify that position. This Guyer fouls it off again. And who knows, maybe there's a deal to be made prior to September 1st. Guys have to clear waivers first, work out a deal if there is one to be had.
Some of those prospects that did not go over to Milwaukee in that Lucroy deal, they still have available.
Guyer flares one to right. That'll bring it at least 1. Ramirez being waved home to throw from Calhoun, not in time. And they've got Guyer hung up between first and second. Simmons feeds Marte, and the tag applied. 2 down, but 2 runs in. It's 7-3 Indians.
I'm not so sure there wasn't going to be a play at the plate.
Yep. Agreed.
And Cole came out throwing, and Cole was kind of upset because he felt he threw a perfect throw. Charged it extremely well. You're talking about getting very good throwing position. This throw is right on the line.
I agree with you.
Especially because of the score of the game at this point. Yeah, it's good to get him out there. That was a perfect throw to the plate.
Almonte swings through the first one. It's an 0-1 count. Guyer put out 9-2-6-3 for the second out of the inning.
Let's go back to that throw by Cole. Charged it perfectly, and this is right on the line. You still have a play at the plate, trying to prevent that 7th run from scoring.
One and 2 on Almonte. 1 for 2 tonight. .93 pitches for Tyler, 67 strikes. It's been a tough 5th inning.
Boy, Cleveland scored a run at least in the first 5 innings last night. And so far in this game, they have scored in 4 of the first 5 innings, including 4 in this inning. And they've manufactured some runs tonight. They do have 1 home run They manufacture these runs with their speed. Terry Francona really has his team being aggressive. Now 91 stolen bases as a team this year.
Seven stolen bases, the most by any team in a game this year. One-two pitch, and cut on and missed. There's the third out, but Indians hang a 4 spot on the Angels. We'll head to the 6th inning with Cleveland on top 7-3.
Coverage of baseball. Alex Rodriguez in his final game with the Yankees got an RBI double tonight. In 203 with 9 home runs in 66 games. His last game with the Yankees, 696 career home runs, 4th all time for Alex Rodriguez. Go to a game break. Hanley Ramirez in Fenway Park, not 1 but 2 home runs in the first 2 innings for Hanley as Boston all over Arizona early on in that game. 8-3.
Top of the 6th inning, 7-3 Cleveland. Albert Pujols leading things off, and he will look at a strike. A lot of pomp and circumstance in New York for a guy that the team is releasing.
Yeah. And he hasn't said for sure he's not going to play anymore.
Right.
Just not going to play anymore with the Yankees as far as a baseball player. It's going to be work as an instructor for him.
Albert fouls it back. Yeah, I meant if you retire, you say it, and then you fill out the paperwork. If you do that, then you're giving up the rest of your contract.
Yep.
Oh, 2. Albert goes down swinging. 1 out.
The Hyundai key for this game with Anderson Simmons coming to the plate. Soundtrack to my life. We talked about the sound off the bat, especially got a lot of that early on, but all of a sudden, Carrasco's locked in that breaking ball, especially his slider. Changeup, more difficult to get that sound off the bat. Especially now with that lead he has, a 4-run lead here into the 6th inning.
Simmons takes a strike. Andrelton is 0 for 2.
7 strikeouts in the game for Carrasco.
This one's out toward right center field. Nice effort by Kipnis, but just beyond his reach. It's a single for Andrelton.
That's that sound we were looking for off the bat. Stayed back in that one well. Shot that ball to right center field for Simmons. Good sound. Stay back. 2 toe taps and then the swing path lines it in the right center field for Simmons.
Total 1 for 2 with a double and a strikeout. In tight. 1 ball, 1 strike. 83rd pitch of the night for Carrasco. 55 strikes. 7 strikeouts. 7 hits allowed. Halos had 4 hits against Carrasco in the first inning. Hasn't walked anybody. By the way, the 7 stolen bases against the Angels tonight ties a franchise record. It's the 5th time that has happened in franchise history.
Again, going back to the fact that Tyler has only allowed 1 stolen base in 1 attempt this entire season. This is 3 starts.
I think it just goes to the team exploiting the fact that Soto was behind the plate. He's had issues throwing out would-be base stealers in a limited amount of time this year. He's in the back end of his career. And I think early on, Tyler kind of got away from it. And they just took advantage of it. They had some great jumps against them.
And when you're a young pitcher, and when you're a pitcher that hasn't got a lot of experience at the big league level this season, when you go back to 2 full seasons, and all of a sudden the game, we talk about the game speeding up, and all of a sudden your focus is away from the hitters. And it's tough to see Tyler go through that because he's still, when you think about it, he threw 96 pitches, 70 of them strikes, but he had to be quicker than normal, and you saw some elevation of pitches throughout the game because he's trying to be quicker. When you're quicker to the plate, your elbow drops, you elevate your pitches.
Last time it happened, by the way, with the 7 bags, August 7th, 2013, against the Texas Rangers. Hank Conger was behind the plate.
Remember, Elvis Andrus had a big game. I remember in that game. Well, amongst others, obviously, with 7 of them.
One-two count on Soto. Check it in. Really locked in on Simmons. Angels 4 stolen bases, but caught once. Angels just with 41 stolen bases on the year. 7-3 Cleveland, top of the 6th.
Yeah, down by 4. Carrasco is pretty hard to steal against anyhow. He's only allowed 3 stolen bases in 6 attempts this year. Quick to the plate.
Serious? Mickey Callaway, the pitching coach, is going to come out.
Check up on him, or just say, listen, you're up by 4 runs here, and you're ahead of the count 1-2. Refocus on the batter. It's a pretty long conversation.
Nobody warming up. Cleveland pen. Or would you think there would be?
Carrasco at 84 pitched on 56 strikes. Coming in this inning, he had faced 21 batters only 11 times. He threw a first pitch strike, so it hasn't been perfect for him. But the offense has picked him up, and then another throw over the first.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Simmons, not much of a lead anyhow. And they are going to get some action now in their bullpen.
Called strike 3. Soto goes down looking. 2 down.
A little backup cut fastball. Perez setting up a way to backed up and got the inside corner upper part of the strike zone.
Brian Shaw, first man up. Two outs and Simmons at first base. Marte 0 for 2. A strikeout and a flyout.
Well, you can see how quick his times are to the plate. He's not going to be easy to get a good jump against anyhow. For me, there's no reason for him to even think about throwing over the first base.
I think that's on his own.
See, I always feel when you see a pitcher, especially when you get a 4-run lead thrown over a lot, it tells me there's something uncomfortable going on with him at this point, whether he just don't feel right or something. Because there's no reason for him to think in terms of thrown over, and he's been thrown over there quickly. He's not even getting into that stretch position. You can see him shaking his head. This doesn't look like he's comfortable. You're certainly not going to pick anybody off by throwing over quickly like that. He's not even, again, he's doing it again. He's not even establishing a lead at this point. If you're really trying to pick someone off, you're going to hold the baseball and then throw over. And you can see right there that, Francona's getting a little nervous himself about this. This will probably be his last batter if he indeed finishes off this batter.
Is it a guy that wants out?
I don't think it's that.
Andrelton's just a couple of steps off the bag. 2 balls, no strikes.
Sometimes you'll see a manager put that signal over to throw over just to give the bullpen a little bit more time to get ready. But he's done that a number of times before Shaw even got up to start throwing.
Two-0. Marte pulls one towards short, and it's gloved by Martinez for the 3rd out. Nice play by the Indians shortstop tonight, and we will head to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Indians on top. MLB on FS1 features a star-studded doubleheader starting with Andrew McCutchen of the Pirates taking on the Dodgers. Then we're back here at Progressive Field. Mike Trout of the Angels taking on the Cleveland Indians in a game you can only see on FS1. The action begins at 12:30 Pacific on FS1 or watch it live on Fox Sports Go.
Well, the Dodgers is 1 game back. The Giants in NL West.
Tyler Skaggs done after 96 pitches and 5 innings. He gives way to Deolis Guerra in our in and out, who's in, who's out. Guerra pitching in his 27th game with the Angels this year. 2-0 mark, 2.70 ERA, 36 and 2/3 innings, 26 strikeouts, and 2 walks. He'll face 8, 9, and 1. The bottom of the 6th, the Indians up 7-3. And after a long night last night with a lot of pitchers used, unfortunately for Tyler, lasting just 5 innings tonight. Bullpen will get used tonight.
Just looking at his numbers again, he threw 96 pitches, 70 strikes. That's a great ratio for him. 7 times he had 0-2 counts,
including the very first batter of the game.
Let's credit Cleveland battling their bats. Yeah, you mentioned that first at bat by Davis. Ended up working a walk, a couple stolen bases, and scores on a single.
To count on Perez. The catcher's 0 for 2 tonight. Strikeout and a fly out. Up and in.
Going back to that stolen bases for Cleveland, and they lead the American League in that category as far as stolen bases with 7. They got 91. Houston, depending on what they did in their game, they had 83 coming into the game. So Michael Brantley right there is still unable to play, but he's seeing his team not only hitting the long ball but also manufacturing runs with their legs.
This one's popped up first base side. Marte into foul territory. 1 down. It'll bring up Martinez, the shortstop, who made a nice play to end the inning. Top of the inning, I should say. Switch hitter will spin around to hit from the left side. 1 for 2. Double and a fly ball out.
Nice defensive play that last inning, finish off the inning. And that versatility of the players for Cleveland, playing a lot of different positions.
This one's out towards center. It'll chase Trout back. 2 down. Get your red on. Angels taking on the Mariners next Thursday, August 18th at 7:05. Fans in attendance will receive an exclusive Hello Kitty plush toy while supplies last. Just go to angels.com/promotions for more info. Angels return home on Monday. 4-game series against the Mariners and a 3-game weekend set. The New York Yankees. It's back out on the road. Toronto, Detroit. Angels have 1 interleague series left.
Be the first time we've seen Toronto.
Yeah.
Go to Toronto.
Yeah. They'll return home 2 weeks from Monday to play the Cincinnati Reds for a 3-game series. Rajai Davis 1 for 2. A walk, a fly out, and a single, but he has been all over the bases. 2 stolen bases in the first. Picked up his 3rd stolen base of the game in the 5th inning. Scored 1 of the 4 runs in that 5th. 2 balls, no strikes.
Francona will have an interesting decision to make with Davis tomorrow. With Shoemaker on the mound, right-handed pitcher, and then we'll go with Naquin in center field.
Three-0. And Shoes had some issues holding, would be base runners or base stealers.
Yeah, Shoes got a real good quick move, but when he goes to the plate, his times are about average, slightly above average as far as times to the plate. And his best pickoff move is that one where he goes, before he even gets into that stretch position, fires over quickly.
And a walk.
What is Nolan Ryan and Bob Gibson and those guys in their day? Best way to stop a stolen base, don't let him get on base. And Shoemaker certainly has been throwing the ball well enough where he hasn't had a lot of base runners.
So Kipnis will step up, Davis at first.
Pretty big lead for Davis again. And the one thing in this day and age of baseball, there's so many printouts on everything as far as you see defensive shifts, but you also know pitchers' tendencies. How long they hold the baseball, do they hold the ball and throw over, do they work quickly to the plate, what's their times, do they have a slide step, all those things come into play.
First pitch to Kipnis upstairs. And now a conversation with Soto and Garrett. Marte will join in.
And it pretty much start off every series, I'll ask Dino Evil about times for catchers. What's the best you want to see about a 1.952 seconds as far as that catch and throw, but then you come into play as far as how quick a pitcher is to the plate. You want to be around 1.2, 1.25 range to give your catcher an opportunity for a good base stealer against you.
Huge lead for Davis at first. Once in his career, 4 stolen bases. That was back in 2013 against the Houston Astros. And Kipnis will pull on the right, a base hit. Davis will turn and head to third. Kipnis with his 3rd hit of the night. And with 2 outs, the Indians with runners at the corners.
See Garrett trying to be quicker to the plate, got a fastball, and Kipnis was able to get the barrel of the bat on that one, lines it in the right field.
The 11th hit for Cleveland tonight. The only quiet inning, if you will, the 3rd. Skaggs retiring the side in order. Garrett got the first 2 outs to start this inning. Francisco Lindor, 1 for 3. Take a strike.
Boy, if you're Kipnis, you love when Rajai Davis gets on base. You remember a few years ago when Mike Trout was leading off, Torrey Hunter was batting 2nd for the Angels. How many fastballs that Torrey would get because Trout was stealing all those bases. Kipnis is
Got a lot more fastballs. Got 3 hits to go along with in 4 at-bats because of the opportunity with fastballs with speed.
Kipnis on the move. This one up the middle. That's a base hit. Davis will score. Kipnis keeps on chugging to third. 8-3 Indians. Lindor with his 2nd hit. And he'll pick up his 59th run batted in.
Again, manufactured runs on the move once again. Kipnis with a good jump. And another line drive by Lindor. 12th hit of the game for Cleveland after 14 last night.
It's actually 2nd RBI for Lindor in this game. So he has 60 runs batted in on the year. The old 2-out letdown. Got the first 2 outs rather easily, and fell behind on Rajai Davis 3-0. He's given up 3 hits since. Here's Napoli. 1 for 3 tonight with a single. This is his last at bat. Jumped at a 92-mile-per-hour fastball that is up, yanked to the left. Lindor's on the move. The throw to second is not in time, and it gets away. Lindor will head to third as Kipnis scores, and it's 9-3.
Another big jump. What a throw. If it's on the base, it might have a shot at getting him. It gets away at second, though. Quick catch and throw by Soto. Gets away from, though, at second base. Pick up the error, E2, and then another stolen base against him.
Man at third. Napoli cuts through it. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. So 8 stolen bases for the Cleveland Indians tonight. It's the most against an Angels team in franchise history. Pretty sure that sets a record for the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, it ties it.
It ties it, that's it. Back in 1917. It's the bottom of the 6th. One and 2. Napoli's 1-2. He fouls it back.
High changeup there. Napoli doesn't miss many of those.
The patented big swing from Napoli on that pitch.
Already a fan favorite here in Cleveland. See that grip going right into that changeup grip. Just throwing a fastball, bring the fingers in. Otherwise, that circle changeup grip together.
Right off the leg.
It's a 2-seam fastball. Guerra. That went inside and fell, went off the foot.
Down low.
Blocked well by Soto. That pitch in the dirt.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a man at third. 2 runs in. 9-3 Cleveland, bottom of the 6th. Napoli strike out to end the inning, but Cleveland adds a couple of more. We'll head to the 7th. Angels down 9-3. Score for the Angels, and there's not a whole lot there to be said other than the fact they have 3 runs on 7 hits. They took the early lead once again in the first inning, but unable to hang on to it, and Cleveland has opened it up. It is 9-3 as we start the 7th. Cliff Pennington to lead things off. Carlos Carrasco back out on the mound. Pennington swinging through the first one. Cliff 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single.
Still good life in the fastball for Carrasco. That one at 92. Kind of surprised he's back out here.
The way the last inning kind of unfolded.
All those throws over the first base.
Pennington pops it up. Jason Kipnis calling for it. 1 down. Jane Robinson 0 for 2. He'll chop this one to short. That's Martinez. 2 down. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live at HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to AppBat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Go to MLB.TV for details.
Watching Martinez taking a lot of ground balls earlier today. Talked about him being able to play a number of different positions, working on not only the throw across the diamond, but also to be able to be in position in case he was going to turn a double play. A little extra work allows him to be comfortable with his hands and the throw across the diamond. Early work today.
Escobar 0 for 3. Dribbles this one up the third base line, and that is going to go for an infield base hit. They'll put a man on for Calhoun.
backup slider. Roller down the line, especially with Ramirez playing deep. At that point of the count, we're able to beat that one out rather easily. Talked about the top three in the order in our opening today. 4 hits, 4 for 10. Top three. Coming into that combined .301 batting average, 400 in this one.
Cole 2 for 3 with a home run and a double.
Cole's looked real comfortable against Carrasco tonight, even though coming into this game 0 for 6 against him. Took Kipnis to make a nice play going to the glove side to prevent Cole from having a 3-hit game.
Little dribbler back toward the mound. Carrasco sets his feet, throws to first, and we will head to the bottom of the 7th with Cleveland leading game 2 of this 4-game series.
Angels 9-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. Let's take a look at the top tier plays. The game brought to you by Arco. Rajai Davis after a long at bat, worked the walk, stole second, stole third, and Ramirez stealing second base, all part of the very aggressive 8 stolen bases on the night for the Cleveland Indians manufacturing run. So used to the home run ball with Cleveland, they've been very aggressive, not only stealing bases but going first to third. I think that's a big reason why Tyler struggled a bit tonight, was because of that speed factor for the Cleveland Indians tonight.
Here at the bottom of the 7th inning, a pitching change. Valdez takes over for Guerra, who worked 1 inning. Gave up the couple of runs in the 6th inning. Second consecutive outing for Valdez. He pitched last night. 4th overall game since joining the Angels. G-Man Choi, new left fielder. Ramirez, Guyer, and Almonte due up for Cleveland here in their half of the 7th. And that is hammered out to right field, and that is going to make it 10-3. Jose Ramirez with his second hit of the night. And this is his 8th home run of the season.
He's homered in back-to-back games now for Cleveland against the Angels. It's the 3rd run he has scored in the game. Got a fastball and a cut on the inside part of the plate. 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and he turned on it. And well out to right center field.
There's Geyer. Homered earlier in this game. Takes upstairs. Two for 3. This is the 4th game for Valdez with the Angels, and what we've seen here in the early parts of his Angels experiment is the fact that good arm, but can't throw consistent strikes.
And especially the secondary pitches. Certainly good life on his fastball. You got to throw strikes with it and then be able to throw your secondary pitches. Otherwise, you force yourself into counts like that at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, but you get a swing like that against you.
26-year-old pitched in 7 games with Detroit. Struck out 4, walked 4 in his 9 innings of work there. Two. Valdez, who pitched in 22 games at AAA Salt Lake. 0-1 with a 1.05 ERA. 28 strikeouts, 11 walks through 25 2/3 innings before getting called up. Halos purchased him from the Tigers in early June. Geyer fouls it off. So Cal remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Three runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, 5 left on for the Angels. 10 runs, 13 hits, 4 left on for Cleveland. Just got a piece of it, trying to hold up.
You said that a lot tonight. A lot of foul balls by hitters against Angel pitching. Forced up the pitch count, especially for Tyler. Up with 96 pitches thrown in 5 innings.
That looked like an angry visit by Giovanni Soto.
Every once in a while, you'll get one of those from the catcher.
Quick pitch at a full count. Abraham Almonte on deck. A 10-3 Cleveland Indians lead in the bottom of the 7th. Payoff. And there's a walk. 1 ball, no strikes. Now Monty 1 for 3 with a ground out, a single, and a strikeout. This one's lifted out toward left field. G-Man Chore, the new left fielder, backs up, puts it away for the first out. Geyer back to first. We'll bring up Roberto Perez, the catcher.
Thinking about it as you go back in this game, that first batter of the game, Rajay Davis, all those pitches he saw against Tyler Skaggs. Especially when you warm up in the bullpen, you got a 2-0 lead to start with. You're feeling pretty good about your chances. You've thrown the ball well in your first 3 starts for the most part. Then you have a long at bat like that. It ended up being 27 pitches thrown in that first inning for Tyler. He only gave up 1 run, but there was a lot of stressful pitches he threw during the course of that first inning. And then because of the 3 stolen bases combined in that first inning, changed the way he went about his business. There's Rajay Davis, who's really made a big impact on this game. 3 runs scored for him to go along with 3 stolen bases.
No balls, 2 strikes on the catcher.
Good breaking ball there from Bell. Doesn't get a swing and miss. Tight slider. Good location, good differential in the speeds and the pitches between the fastball and that breaking ball to get a swing and miss.
There's Martinez, 1 for 3. Bouncer foul, 1-2.
One of the many versatile players that the Cleveland Indians have that can play a number of different positions. From Martinez to Geyer to Ramirez. So important for Cleveland to have that flexibility. Move guys around a bit to keep those guys in the lineup as much as possible for Terry Francona. Talking to Francona earlier in the season about playing guys in different positions. He's all about not only be able to have good at-bats to play, but also play some solid defense. And they've been pretty good defensively, 6th best as far as fielding percentage in the American League. So even though they are playing different positions, they're comfortable there. And Francona's showing a lot of confidence in them to be able to put them in those spots. Although Lindor was trying to throw a slider there with his rotation, he's probably not going to go on the pitching mound. Many of those different positions, that will be a position that Lindor will not play.
Martinez takes a called strike 3, and we will head to the 8th inning. Indians tack on a run. They lead at 10-3.
Now they're down 10-3, the Cleveland Indians, as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Welcome back, everyone. Ken French with you from inside Progressive Field. And don't forget, following this one is Angels Live, presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers with myself and Jose Mota. We'll bring you all the reaction from this one. But don't forget, after that, it's a brand new edition of Angels Weekly. We've got some great stories, including his home sweet home for Ricky Nolasco. Jared Weaver hits the links, then J.J. Redick throws out the first pitch at the Big A. That and much more on a brand new edition of Angels Weekly following the post-game show right here on Fox Sports West. But right now, let's send it back upstairs to Victor and Mark, because my ears are about to fall off from these kids yelling into them right now.
You're a popular guy here in Cleveland.
Yes.
New pitcher on for the Cleveland Indians. Brian Shaw takes over for Carlos Carrasco to start this 8th inning with Cleveland up 10-3. 54th game, 2-4 record, a 3.75 ERA. He'll face Trout, Pujols, and Simmons. New first baseman is Lonnie Chisenhall. Nope. He's not at first base. Now he is at first base, magically appearing. Takes over for Napoli. No other changes.
He is quick.
Yeah. There's Lonnie. He was out in right field last night, finished the game at first. 2 balls, no strikes. Bouncer toward third. Ramirez has it. 1 down.
Pretty solid play by Ramirez, coming in on that baseball and a strong throw on the run. Shaw will throw a lot of cut fastballs. Cut fastball is going to be 90-94 range slider. Regional split. Albert a couple RBIs, giving him now 89 on the season.
Ball and a strike on Albert. 1 for 3 with a single.
When you think about it, looking back too on the offensive side to start the game, Cole Calhoun with a home run, solo shot. Trout with a double, Albert with a single. Giovanni Soto with a double. 2-0 lead early on. Again, not an inability to put up a zero right away. All brought on by that long at bat against Roger Davis, and eventually a walk and a couple stolen bases, and scored on a single by Kipnis.
Tyler Skaggs tonight going 5 innings, 93 pitches. Albert grounds this one to short. 2 down.
Simmons with a good at bat his last appearance at the plate. Flying the base hit in the right center field. Stayed back on a fastball well from Carrasco.
Simmons takes a strike. Hamilton 1 for 3. Ground ball down the line, gloved by Chisenhall, and the Angels down in order. We head to the bottom of the 8th, 10-3 Cleveland. Actually, the rest of this series, game 3 tomorrow night, Matt Shoemaker going up against the former Angel Mike Clevenger. And then on Sunday, Jared Weaver against Trevor Bauer. Tomorrow night's game will be on FS1. Sunday back here on Fox Sports West. JC Ramirez on the mound for the Angels as he takes over for Jose Valdez. Cleveland up 10-3 as we start at the bottom of the 8th inning.
3 ERA in 21 games with the Angels for Ramirez. Power fastball, better as far as throwing consistency with that strike zone with his fastball. 95 to 98 range, slider, and split.
First pitch swinging, drives one out towards center. Trout puts it away for the first out. 1 for 3, 9 for Davis. Jason Kipnis, a 3 for 4 game. Indian second baseman, a couple of RBIs. Ball and a strike. Well, coming into tonight, mentioned the Angels in the midst of a 7-game losing streak. During that stretch, the Angels had the early lead in 6 of those games. The score holds. That would make it 7 of 8 as Kipnis lines one out toward left field. G-Man Joy not going to get there. One hops the fence. Kipnis on his way to second with his second double of the night, his 4th overall hit.
25th double of the season for Kipnis. It's a pretty good swing on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Just about thigh high, went with the pitch. Didn't try to pull it. Lines it into left center field.
This one's off the pitcher. Ramirez not going to have a play. And there goes an infield base hit.
Line right back up the middle of the hip area. Neville going to go check up. Maybe got his hand also. Lindor 3 hits in this game. And they're checking his hand. Knuckle area maybe. Thought initially it got him on the hip.
Appears to be all right. First and third, 1 out. Chisenhall's first plate appearance. .295 batting average this year. 19 doubles, 4 triples, 6 home runs, and 40 runs batted in. This is hit towards second, 2 down. Hits in this game for Cleveland after 14
last night. Ty Van Berkelio, the hitting coach for Cleveland, has to be very happy with these at-bats. Ramirez a solid game himself, including a home run. His last at-bat, 3 runs scored, a couple hits. Cross up there, quick conversation now. He's done a very good job, Ty, with this club as far as swinging the bat. Different parts throughout the year, not having one of their best hitters in there. Also with Brantley for the most part. Played for the Angels back in 1993.
This one's hit out toward right field. Cole racing back. It's over his head. Short hops the fence. Kipnis scores. Lindor will be stopped at third base. It's an RBI double for Ramirez. His 3rd hit of the game.
He has been a machine with runners in scoring position, especially with 2 outs. This game, a .409 batting average with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Talked about how well he's hit with runners in scoring position throughout the year, but with 2 outs, even better.
Oh, and count on Geyer is 2 for 3 tonight. This is punched over the head of Marte into right. That'll bring home 2.
And when things are going well as a lineup and hitters, even when you don't fully commit to a swing, good things happen. A check swing flares it over the head of Marte, driving in 2.
(13-3) here in the 8th. Almonte with a swing and a miss. Soto can't find the ball, so Geyer will advance to second. Scored a wild pitch. Bouncer to Marte. We will head to the 9th. Cleveland adds 3. 13-3 as we head to the top of the 9th. The Angels trying to snap a 7-game losing streak are on the wrong end of this score. Halos have Soto, Marte, Pennington due up. See what Mike Scioscia decides to do. New pitcher on for the Cleveland Indians. Zach McAllister pitching for the second straight night. This will be his 37th overall game. 2-2 record of 4.81 ERA. Brian Shaw pitched a scoreless 8th inning.
You got 3 ground ball outs. Fouled straight back at Perez. Knocked him back. So they're checking up on him. Francona. His trainer going to go out and check up on him now. See the swing from Soto and fouled straight back, right off the mask, square on the mask. Okay, now that's what he's saying to Larry Vanover.
Oh, one count on Soto's 1 for 3, doubled in his first at bat. Oh, 2. Soto goes down swinging for the first out. Oh, they look ahead to tomorrow with Matt Shoemaker on the mound. Ninth game here in Game 3 to see if the Angels can change their fortunes. It's been a rough 3-city road trip, and we mentioned it before we even left that Seattle been playing better. The Cubs obviously best record in baseball, and the Cleveland Indians, although kind of okay 500 since the All-Star break, still in first place. And this pitching staff,
yeah, they've been scoring a lot of runs. Shoemaker with real good career numbers against Cleveland. 1-0 with an ERA 0.82. Over 3 starts for Shoemaker against Cleveland. Shoemaker just would like to see some early runs in his game.
I think he'd like to see some sustained runs throughout the game.
Yeah.
He's been one of those guys that has virtually no run support this year. And it's an aggressive Cleveland Indians team. I mentioned it last night, very similar to that of the Red Sox, as this one's grounded to second. They don't get cheated in their hacks. And obviously we saw tonight that if they have an opportunity to exploit something via the base paths, they will certainly do that. 8 stolen bases for the Cleveland Indians tonight, tying a team record that was set back in 1917 and setting an Angels franchise record for most stolen bases against the Angels.
And the Angels have been really good as far as slowing down an opponent's running game for the most part this entire season. Leading the majors as far as pickoffs.
Pennington will look at a strike. Off the plate. 1-2. Bouncer foul. A little over 27,000 here tonight. Most on their feet. 1-2. Pennington takes low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 17 hit attack for the Cleveland Indians tonight.
It's 31 hits in the first 2 games of this series. Some balance throughout. Ramirez a solid game himself. Kipnis, big game.
Full count. There's the payoff. Pennington fouls it back, keeps his at-bat alive.
Pennington a little bit of a battle here against McAllister. Saw that throughout the game. The Cleveland hitters, a lot of foul balls.
This one's out toward left field. Geyer back, still moving back, and he'll run it down for the 3rd out as the Indians take game 2 by the final of 13-3.
Yeah, we talked about how well they've swung the bat. They've pitched the baseball very well. They defended very well. The big at bat for me in this game was Roger Davis to start them in the bottom of the 1st inning. A long at bat, worked a walk, couple stolen base, eventually scoring on a single for Kipnis, and they never stopped from that point forward. Geyer with a big game, and it ended up with an outstanding defensive play. Ramirez, big game himself. 17 hits, 13 runs for Cleveland tonight as they win this one 13-3.
8-game losing streak for the Angels, the longest in the Mike Scioscia tenure. Not a number that you want to really talk about a whole lot. It's been a tough road trip, and it continues. The Angels drop game 2 tonight by the final of 13-3. Stick around. Angels Live postgame is coming up next.